Hi everyone, I'm Ashley Billington and this is the Campfire. Today we are heading into 6A teams and starting with District 3 6A. After realignment, this district consists of Crowley, Trinity, Boswell, Pascal, Chisholm Trail, LD Bell, North Crowley, and Weatherford. Trinity has won 16 straight district games, so they will most definitely have a bullseye on their back. Let's start things off by analyzing these teams in our film session.
The Trinity Trojans enter the season as the clear favorite, but are introducing a new head coach, Aaron Lineweaver. We know the Trojans will continue to be strong up front on both sides of the ball, and this year's feature back will be Gary Maddox. Nazir Alasilman could open up things as a receiver in the passing game for Trinity. Defensive-wise, Oklahoma State commit Ricky Lolohea and Corey Johnson will help shut things down. Weatherford finished second in this district last year, and they return quarterback and linebacker Ryan Clark for the 2022 campaign. North Crowley should also contend for a playoff spot behind Defensive Player of the Year Samaje Burrell. Boswell's Ezra Carter was a first-team All-District running back last year, and he will hope to lead the Pioneers to another postseason appearance this year. Chisholm Trail will have experience behind center with Jesse Cantrell, while LD Bell will look to defensive difference maker Trey Wilson to help secure some wins. Fort Pascal went winless in the district last year, but has a dynamic athlete in Chris G, who is hard to stop. Crowley moves up from 5A and hopes to make some noise in the district as well.
Even if the Trojans are the odds-on favorite, there are still 3 playoff spots up for grabs, and there should be some tight competition for those. All right, let's dig even deeper into 3 6A as we bring in our Inside High School Sports Insider, Matt Diggs, along with producer Ward Fasold, and our district breakdown.
All right, district breakdown time. There he is, man. Professor Diggs. We're talking 3 6A. We've moved up to the 6A districts. 3 6A has Trinity. We have a new team in Crowley, and we lost Halton. But who do you think is going to win this district? I guess that's a dumb question. But where do you think the tiers lie on this one? I love hearing your tiers formations.
Haltom, you're fired. And for Haltom, I think they would have preferred to be in this district.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. We have to realign. And Crowley, that 35 West corridor is exploding with growth. And I think we're going to see even more of that 35 West infusion over here to the District 3 6A as we go in the future. Trinity is definitely the number one team, and they are in the tier by themselves. I think the second tier is going to be where there's going to be a little bit more debate. In the off season, we have a new coach at Trinity, and it's going to be a name that a lot of people are familiar with, Aaron Lineweaver, and how is he going to fare as the man? And obviously he's kind of grown up in this program, so he's very familiar with kind of the intangibles of the community and kind of the expectations. But Trinity has some outsized expectations. They're pretty much considered one of the teams of the decade, one of the teams of the new millennium. So there is some big pressure on Mulish Trinity, and it's their first time without Ollie in a few years. So how are we going to fare? Trinity, even though we were challenging them in the Metroplex and then the statewide thing, I still have them as number 1. We got Weatherford number 2. I've got North Crowley number 3, Saginaw Boswell number 4, LD Bell number 5, Crowley number 6, Chisholm Trail number 7, and Fort Worth Pascal number 8.
All right, well, next week we will talk 4 6A, and I'll wait to talk to you next week.
We'll see you next week for some South Lake Keller talk.
Dixie and Wiz will have even more about this district on our social media platforms this Wednesday. Now let's take a look at some of the athletes you should keep an eye on in this district and our players on the rise.
At Fort Worth Pascal, possibly the best athlete in the district, Chris G resides. G ran for 1,423 yards and 12 touchdowns for the Panthers and averaged over 7 yards per carry. Pascal may not have had the best results, but G most certainly did. He also caught for 11 passes for just under 200 yards as well. Chris has offers from Montana State, but expect more offers to be coming during his senior year. On the defensive side of the ball, Trey Wilson from LD Bell always finds himself around the ball. The linebacker had 117 tackles last year, with 7 resulting in loss. Plus, he had a fumble recovery as well. Wilson finds himself in the backfield more than most running backs because he's explosive off the snap. Trey has already received offers from Prairie View and Morgan State. North Crowley has a linebacker just as menacing in Samaje Burrell. Check out these numbers from his junior year. 104 tackles, with 13 being for losses. 5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, and a pick. No wonder he was the district co-defensive MVP last year. Burrell is verbally committed to the University of Texas. One of the premier defensive linemen in the Metroplex is Trinity's Ricky Lolohea. If you are going to try to block him with one guy, all I can say is good luck. It probably isn't going to work. At 6'4", 250 pounds, Lolohea can simply overpower most linemen and get to the ball carrier. Ricky will be taking his talents to Oklahoma State next year.
The Pioneers are one of the teams hoping to grab a playoff spot in 2022. Orange Basalt caught up with their head coach, John Abshan, to talk about the district and the Pioneers' hopes of making it to the postseason in our Media Day segment.
All right, it's Media Day. We are talking 3-6A, and we are joined with Boswell head coach John Abshan. Coach Ab, which is what I'll call you, and talk about this district, because a lot of people look at it as Trinity and the others, like some sort of Diana Ross and the Pips type thing or whatever.
No doubt.
But you guys were a playoff team last year, and you guys fought through the rest of the district. I know Trinity is a tall task, but that's the ultimate goal, is to get that district title and knock them off as well. So talk about how things went last year, and this district looks fairly similar to the year before, except you're adding Crowley and
Crowley. No, it's I think we get a bad rap because of the Trojans but of them being the only one, and they're going to be awesome. They're going to be good again. Coach Lineweaver is coming in, junior, and he is. I don't think there's any different than the senior, and so they're going to be tough and solid, and they're going to play good football. But I think North Crowley and Weatherford have a lot to say about that as well. We didn't beat them either last year, and so. But the thing about our district, when we went up against 4-6A, we went 2-2 against them, and pushed that third game, and they're solid as a rock too. So the thing is that we're all going to push each other equally, but when you start breaking down the teams, each team has a dynamic that has to prepare for.
Absolutely. And so it's actually one of those districts where, yes, you want to make those top 4, but when you look at your next opponent, you want to make the top 3, so you don't mess around with those dragons either. So
I heard South Lake's in that district. I hear certainly Coach Riley's still there, so I think they're going to be pretty good.
I hear they might be good. Well, I appreciate you joining me, Coach, and good luck this upcoming season, and especially with your summer workouts coming up in August.
I appreciate you, man. Keep up the great work, and we'll talk again, okay?
All right.
We will post the entire interview on all of our social media platforms this Friday, or if you just can't wait and you want to hear all of the district breakdown and all of our Media Day segment already, then you need to hop on over to our podcast on iTunes and Spotify on Inside High School Sports DFW to listen to the extended version of Campfire. That's going to do it for this week's show. Join us next week when we talk 4-6A and those Carroll Dragons. You can keep up with everything on the high school football scene on our Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram accounts. Until next time, I am Ashley Bullington, and thank you so much for watching the Campfire.